comic book artist. I've been working in comics since 2000 on various independent stuff with Radio Comics, Antarctic Press. Eventually I moved into animation. My first job was working on the Drew Carey green screen show, and then I worked on the Olympics project with Titmouse for this past year's Olympics campaign. Well, I'd seen them at Comic-Con the last few years, and I eventually went up to them in a portfolio review, and they really liked my stuff and said, well, let's work together.
Guess what some of your art pieces are that I'm looking at right here, like for the one that right behind you, the two
It's based on Rapunzel, but I kind of gave it an elven twist to it, so it wasn't the typical. This one, she's just kind of like brushing her hair. It's more of a juvenile piece because it was going to be on display in Nickelodeon, but so I just kind of went with that kind of innocent theme.
Now, what kind of medium did you use for those?
This would be Micron pen and Prismacolor pencils and markers.
Markers. Oh, right on. Now, what other mediums are you also use other than those?
Mostly digital, like Photoshop and Illustrator and Flash. I kind of wanted to put different themes to things. Most people, it's like, okay, here's a cute girl and they're sitting here. With these ones here, I kind of was going for the fairy tale theme, but I wanted to go for something more obscure than the typical thing. Like this one is Peter, Pumpkin Eater, had a wife and couldn't keep her. Right. I wanted to kind of basically show that he's kind of keeping her away from himself, doesn't really want to marry her. She's got the key to her heart, but he just has to marry her, and he's kind of reluctant. And this one is the Pied Piper, and not only are like the mice being lured away, but the girl's been drawn into the whole thing as well, because nothing is isolated. Everything kind of affects each other.
Okay, right on. And
I think there's an air of sensuality without being sexual. I think that there's that nurturing kind of personality. It's like you can be sexy, but it isn't about sex.
Right.
It's kind of a warm, comforting feeling, but you still feel an innocence from childhood that kind of lingers behind. So more overt rather than blunt and in-your-face kind of sexuality.